Hello and welcome to Steve's Vintage Model Builds. How's everybody today? Lots of stuff going on in the world, but it's Amazon Prime days. So had a few things come down the river Amazon. As you might suspect, this is one of them. This is cool item number one, and it's 1963 Corvette Stingray Retro Deluxe Edition. Ooh. We'll get into that more in a minute. Going to set this aside for now, though, because I also got something else really cool. And welcome to everyone, returning viewers, subscribers, new viewers. A hearty welcome to all. Hope you'll enjoy what you see here. And subscribers and returning viewers to the channel may know that my wife and I are going to the Philippines from the last week of November until, well, actually we'll be back in Vancouver on the 30th. No, the 31st. So it'll be New Year's Eve in a Vancouver hotel room for us. But I expect after such a long trip, all we're going to do is sleep anyways. Most New Year's Eve, we usually, 9 o'clock, we watch the ball drop in New York, and then night, night, honey, love you, see you tomorrow, Happy New Year. Okay, so, anyways, so we're going to the Philippines for 5 weeks, and while we're in the Philippines, we're going to take a side trip to Japan. When we decided to take this trip and decided that we were going to be there for 5 weeks, I said, okay, well, while we're there, I want to do 2 bucket list things. If you don't know what a bucket list is, the bucket list is a list of things you want to do before you kick the bucket. That is, expire from your time on this earth. So, anyways, one of those bucket list things is to visit the head office and museum of Tamiya in Shizuoka. And I also want to ride the bullet train. So we're going to fly to Tokyo. We're going to take the bullet train down to Shizuoka, which is also in the shadow of Mount Fuji. And so, anyways, it's going to be a lovely trip. We're only going, for 5 days or whatever it is. Just go, do what we want to do, and come back. And so, anyways, my Tagalog, Filipino language, is pretty adequate, but my Japanese is pretty rudimentary. I can ask where the bathroom is, order beer and food, ask for directions, whatever, that kind of stuff. But beyond that, so anyways, so I ordered this, and I picked it up. Yeah, here we go. And this is an AI translator. And it's, you can work with it online or offline. And, for example, here, I've got it set up for Japanese now. Yeah, here we go. Hello, hello. AI translator. So it'll work online, offline, and it'll even work by taking a picture. So if you're in a restaurant and you just take a picture of the menu, and then it'll translate what's on the menu, which is really cool. You don't have to rely on pictures and numbers. Number 14, please. No, sorry, I shouldn't have said it that way. But anyways. So you've got online, offline, photo translation, group translation, I guess if you're having a conversation with people, real-time translation, and phone translation. So I guess if somebody's talking to you on the phone, it'll do it for you. And it's really simple to use. You see you get a red microphone and the blue microphone. Red microphone is the language you're going to speak. And the blue microphone is the language it's going to be translated to. So, for example, here, I just press, "You're a very pretty girl. Will you come to my hotel?"
I あなたはとても可愛い女の子です。私のホテルに来ませんか?
Naughty boy. Okay, so yeah, there you go. That's it. And so it's very simple to use. As I said, I believe it's 178 languages. And it goes in the pocket. And that'll be a lot of fun. I hope it works correctly, because you never know. You know, sometimes with a foreign language, you know, you think you're saying the right thing, but you're not. How many times have I run into that over the years? Anyways, so yeah, very cool thing. $140. Don't tell my wife. But it'll be well worth it. And we plan to do a lot of traveling, provided our health allows, over the next few years. And provided there's still a world to travel to, or around in. And speaking of that, well, I take the cellophane off here. As usual, even though this came in a box, Amazon managed to dent it. But anyways, I'm so over that. Posted a video on a Substack today. I'll put a link down in the description on my alternate channel, my take on it, on situational analysis and updates on what's going on over in the Middle East. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, I believe I have some excellent insights. I also have, I'm pretty good at gathering information that sometimes is a little below the surface. So anyways, big things are coming, big things are happening. And but not to worry, good things are coming. Well, for us, the good guys, anyways. Okay, so here we have the 1963 Corvette Stingray. I mean, you know, besides McQueen's, you know, Mustang in the movie, probably about the coolest car. And so, anyways, yeah, it's AMT 125 scale. Their catalog number 861/12. They label it street rods here, as well as there was the sticker on there. You know how it was a retro edition. And AMT is great for this. You have different versions, so you can build it. You can build it street or strip. I guess they changed that. It used to be street or drag, and now, you know, anyways, everything, all that stuff's been corrupted. But anyways, like strip hasn't been. But anyways, that's the way they do it now. And I guess, you know, strip is better for kids than drag. And we won't even touch drag stripping. So anyways, so we've got on the top of the box, classic split window Stingray coupe shown with classic American mag wheels. That's the big fat ones. You get two engine options, triple carburetor for all-round street use, and the Rat's Nest featuring a blown 454 for all-out drag performance. So there we go. My first car was an Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme, 1974 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme, and it had a 454 rocket engine with a 4-barrel carburetor, and boy, she sure could open up. Those days are long gone though. I like a nice comfortable Camry. Yeah, fun to assemble, 125 scale model kit. You've got it in the dark blue here and the kind of pale silvery kind of blue, and then AMT does this on some of their older kits. You get the sprue map on the underside, which is kind of nice because, you know, you can just turn the box over and see what's inside the kit without having to open it or go on ScaleMates or whatever if you're just poking around in the hobby shop. So this was about $50. including tax. Shipping was free, I believe. And Simi BMW and I got into a little conversation about AMT. Actually, he posted something. And if you haven't checked out his channel, please do. He does amazing work. That's Simi, Seamy, BMW, like the car, all one word. Simi BMW. And he does great work. So anyways, one of the things he mentioned was he posted something. They want ridiculous prices over there. And, well, he's in Ireland. I'm not sure if he's in Northern Ireland or the Republic. I think it's Northern Ireland, but I'm not sure. Pretty sure. Sorry if I got it wrong, Simi. Yeah. Aaron go bra, no matter what. Okay, so they want ridiculous prices for some of the kits. Now, I like AMT kits. They're good kits. They're fun kits. But they're not sophisticated, and most of them aren't very complicated. One of their best kits with over 250 pieces is their International TransStar, the cab over 4070A, and that retails over here for about $120. I think I got it at Matt's shop for $90. He always gives me a good price and charges good prices anyways. But they were wanting hundreds of dollars for basic kits like this. I mean, $50, to be honest with you, is a bit of a stretch even for a kid like this. But you get to build in two versions. So what happens is, you accumulate all sorts of different spare parts so that you can, bash some kits together or put together a service center garage kind of situation. All sorts of those things. So, they're very good value. And and it's nice. Here you get two engines, two different styles, which we'll look into a bit more later. But it's the same over here in Canada with Airfix kits. Except for the vintage classic ones or whatever they call them. Yeah, vintage. I guess that's what they call them, vintage classics. The old 172s and 176s. Molds from the 60s, 70s. They're the Airfix kits. I mean, I'm not going to say anything about Airfix specifically. I'll leave that to others. I've always been a Tamiya guy, and growing up in Canada, we had Airfix, we had Matchbox, and of course the other British manufacturers, But for whatever reason, I didn't have a lot of Airfix kits. I think they were mostly Matchbox kits. So in any case, $130 or $140 for a 172 Spitfire, I'm sorry. I don't care if it's brand new tooling. That's just absolutely ridiculous. But they were wanting like $200, $300, $400. One was as high, I think it was $450, which at best here might have cost $80. So I don't know whether people are buying them up, and my theory is it's shipping costs. AMT manufactures in the United States, so it costs a lot to ship stuff over there. And likewise with Airfix stuff coming back. So that might be it, or it might be just some highly mercenary, or some would say capitalist, with or without derision, are figuring out a way to buy up a whole bunch of kits and have them shipped over in a container or whatever, and then they're jacking the prices on them. So I'm telling you right now, even though I'm a fan, don't pay large for an AMT kit. Like I say, even the TransStar with 250 pieces. Like I say, it's not worth more than $120 or $130. And there's a couple other big ones. The Dodge L700 truck. I think that was only $60-$70. And I also got the Ford cab over with the trailer, which is that's a big kit too. But again, you know, nowhere near that kind of price. Excuse me. So yeah, especially if you're ordering off of Amazon, be very careful. There's often a little thing underneath that says other offers, and they give you a different price. Sometimes you can find a way better price. Other times, you know, it's the same price, but they charge you shipping, so it ends up being the same. Or it's a lower price, they charge you for shipping, so it's the same. Whatever the case may be. So, you know, all things being equal, I'll usually go with the stuff that's on Prime. Not just for fast shipping, but also easy returns if I choose I want to return something. And returns are really easy. So, yeah, so that's that. Okay, so here we go. Let's get into the box here. And so we have obviously these are the chrome parts. And this stuff, this isn't old. It looks kind of old and yellowed and nasty, but it's just coated with the stuff they put on for the chrome parts. And we have very nice chrome parts here. We've got the mag wheels, and I'm gonna that better light, yeah. You know, we've got the bumpers, pieces for the engine, all nicely detailed. No flash whatsoever. The one engine here is completely chromed, so that'll be fun. There's a tiny bit of flash here on these fan blades, but and it looks like one might be slightly truncated. Well, we'll have to deal with that. Like I said, I got plenty of spare parts from 125 engines. Got a beautiful grill. We got the blowers here, and yeah, so nothing to complain about there. Oh, and the IDF tribute build is coming along. I really hope to have it ready for October 7th. But now I think it's going to have to wait till after Yom Kippur. You know, I'm working steadily on it, but it's a lot more than what I expected, even after I read through the instructions. So, and here we have a one-piece glass part. Tiny bit of flash, not much. A little bit of trimming needs to go on here. I'm not going to take it out of the bag because it's a clear part. But it's perfect. There's no... Yeah, and I like the one piece too, because the way they set this up, it's almost impossible to mess up the glass or the clear part. And also you get some red clear parts too for the tail lights and so forth. Then we've got two choices for tires, so we'll have extra tires as well. We get the mags, and they are slicks. And then if you want for the street version, there's 4 regular tires. But you know I'm going to use the slicks, right? Yeah. So, and the slicks have Race Master printed on them in white. The regular tires doesn't look like they have any kind of branding. So, but that's a nice detail. Painting the writing on those tires is a pain in the you know what. And the neck. Okay, so now we have the body and the chassis. They always tuck these in together for for safety reasons. Okay, Kev, get this out. There we go. Okay, and so we've got the chassis, we've got the tub. Okay, and so here we go with the tub. Turn this. There. Not much detail. I mean, you know, you've got the stripy seats. The pedals are molded in. It's a manual transmission. Obviously, all in white. And we have the underside of the chassis, all one piece. A little bit of detail there, nothing fancy, but it's there. You got the dual mufflers, dual exhaust. And again, no flash, no blemishes or marks. And then here we have the body. Again, it's perfect. No blemishes, no marks. There's a tiny bit of flash just around the window edges here. The wipers are molded in. That's not the end of the world. But yeah, looks very nice. Oh no, that's yeah, I thought that was a blemish, but that's actually the the Corvette badge or whatever you call it. So that's good. And we have an axle. This is probably for the rear. We have two axles. There you go. So that's very nice. And oh, they call this the mini display box. And you cut it out and you fold it together, and I don't know whether you're supposed to put the thing on top of it or what, but anyways, we'll see about that. It just says display with your built model, so I guess it can go beside it or behind it or whatever. But yeah, that's kind of cool. Nice touch. AMT's good with stuff like that. Round two, I should say. They're always looking. Even if it's just a small thing like that, they're always looking for a way to add value to the kit. Now, I mean, part of that's self-serving in that, when you add value, you can increase the price. But anyways, so here we go. Okay, and so it looks like we've got hard plastic molded seat belts here. That's interesting. Nicely detailed dashboard. And so we've got two bonnets or hood covers. Manifold pipes, engine block parts. They give you a parachute here for the drag racer version, and they even give you a crash helmet. Don't tell me there's a figure in here. I don't think so. They give you a crash helmet, which is kind of nice. And we've got engine block pieces for one engine. And engine block pieces for another engine. And a third kind of hood or bonnet. There is flash. It's not too bad, but there's a little bit of flash here. These are older molds, so I'm not that surprised. But again, nothing excessive. And if you're like me, you go through all your stuff and clean it up anyways. So there's always a little bit. Okay, so there's that. And we get some decals, which is nice. And the AMT decals that I've used have been good. Yeah, they're about the same as Academy or Revell, or they might even be the same company. Academy, Revell, or even Tamiya. Although I think Tamiya does theirs in house. But yeah, I mean, it's a car. So so what have we got here? We've got the Vicious Vet. STP, of course, wins. There's going to be senior decals going on here. That's for sure, Terry. And Hooker. I love my Hooker. What did Hooker do? What does Hooker do? I can't remember. They have something to do with exhaust, or I think they have something to do with exhaust or manifold. Shows you what I know. Valvoline. There's a license plate. Yeah. Yeah, you can use those or not, depending on how you want to decorate your vet. Okay. Alright, so here we go. We start off here. And the AMT instructions are okay. They're pretty simple kits, and you just go through step by step by step. But they're clear, and, stuff is big enough so most people can read it. The usual read this before you begin. And then it says, unless otherwise noted, paint all engine parts orange. Okay. And they always start off with the engines. You've got the various different options. This is for the street rod. This is for the custom. And I think too, I don't know. It's a 2-in-1, not a 3-in-1. Some of their kits would have custom, street, and drag, but in any case. And so they've got the stock 327. And optional fuel injection, I guess, on this one. So, anyways. And, yeah, it's just a case of, putting all the little doodads and the parts together. Plenty of opportunities to paint. Yeah, it's too bad about that one little part. But it's not a big deal because there's parts for 2 engines anyways. And, if there isn't a spare one here, then, I'll find it. Find one. So. And, then they move on to the wheels, how to assemble the wheels. And wheels to the chassis. Pretty simple stuff. Nice detail here in the instrument panel. I didn't see any decals for the instrument panel, but that's okay. I don't like decals for the instrument panel. They're usually too tiny and fiddly and end up getting wrecked. And I'd rather use some kind of a Sharpie or some other method. So, and then you put the body together and everything goes on. And like I said here, you can see you see how the glass piece goes, or the clear piece goes in. So what you do is your adhesive goes all around here, and you just drop it right in there, and it has no chance to smudge or cloud or anything like that. So it's great stuff. How to insert the tail lights, rear bumper plates and bumper, front bumper, choice of hood. Choice of hood, you know, this is for the custom, this is for the street rod. So I guess there's 3 body types. So there's the stock, and that has the closed hood with the vents. And then there's the custom, which has the open hood with the vents. And then there's the street rod, which has just the open hood. And I guess that big honking 4-barrel blower sticks up out of there. So yeah, so it is kind of a 3-in-1, although you only get 2 engines. So now you know, and of course at the back. So that's it. I mean, it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It's a nice fold out. I like these because for things like this, I like to put it up like on an easel, so that I can see pretty much the whole thing, step by step, not only where I am but where I'm going, which I found to be wise life advice as well. Yeah. On the back here, there's some self-promotion. They list paint colors, just totally generic. When to use semi-gloss, when to use gloss, when to use metallic. That's interesting. And then of course they're promoting some other kits. Round 2 also owns the rights for MPC, along with Lindbergh and a couple of other things. Excuse me. As I said, you know, the AMT kits that I've built and got, they look great. I only got one MPC kit, and it was damaged, like damaged from in the factory, and it was something that really couldn't be repaired. So I, you know, and overall, when I went in and I looked at the kit, I wasn't really very impressed with it. You know, they're a step down. They're more like a very basic old time Revell kit. So you know, one step above the snap tights. So, anyways, yeah, Round 2 is a great company, and they're bringing a lot of you know, they're doing new toolings on older kits and re-releasing them. So they've got some great stuff coming down the pipe, and I can't remember the guy's name. I mentioned it before. I brought it up before in another video, and we're done here now, so we can see my face. Yeah, hi. But anyways, yeah, he made his fortune as a game developer, computer games, and I'll look it up and put it in the description. It's an interesting story, but he really a venture capitalist, really, not a vulture, not one of those guys who comes in Hornby, who and you know, proceeds to just exploit the brand and ruin their reputation, ruin their quality, and just you know, just try and pull whatever they can out of it. This guy's passionate about what he does, and you know, it's a very dynamic company. So, but don't overpay. Okay, just don't overpay. All right. You know, there's yeah, just don't overpay. You know, over in the UK and in so many places in the States, you're very fortunate because you have tons of hobby shops. still bricks and mortar hobby shops, as well as, online places. Canada has those too. But, here in our city of nearly 100,000, we have one. And there is also one. Now, in fairness, we live on an island on the west coast of Canada, or off the west coast of Canada, pretty much on the edge of civilization. I drive a couple hours and look out, and if I could see far enough, I would see Japan. But in any case, we have one hobby show annually, and it's pretty sad. It really is. It's pretty sad. And I'm not criticizing anybody's work, and I know people put a lot of effort into it, but we have nothing like a Telford or some of those other ones. And Peter, I'm so jealous of you. You're going to Telford soon. Maybe when we plan our UK trip. Well, no, Esther won't want to go there that time of year. Yeah, we're going to go in the spring or early summer. So, but in any case, yeah, I mean, even in Peter's little town, they have a club and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we're very fortunate to have Matt at NRC Hobbies here in Nanaimo. So, okay, so that's it for today. I'm going to rate the kit. And as I say, again, Keffer, you came unprepared. I use a 12-point scale, 10 standard points, 2 points for packaging, 2 points for the sprues, up to 3 points for the parts, and up to 3 points for the instructions. In addition, each of those each of those categories can receive a quarter-point bonus for any quote-unquote wow factors. Excuse me. Excuse me. And I also allow for up to 1 full bonus point for what I call value. And value isn't just, what the cost of the kit was. It's how much enjoyment can I expect to get out of it. And, just basically, how much fun am I going to have? How long, am I going to get 5, 10, 12 hours? I'm the kind of person, I don't like to rush on kits. That's why the IDF tribute is taking a little longer than I expected. And, I want to do it right, and I want it to come out perfect because, it's in their honor, and they're the best, and I want to give them my best. So, in any case, as far as packaging is concerned, Amazon shipped it. It was in the same box as this, actually, a nice sturdy cardboard box. Yay big, whatever fit both of them. But there was still a dent in it, so that makes me suspect that that happened at the warehouse. So I'm going to take a quarter-point bonus, or a quarter-point off for that. So that's 1.75 for the packaging. The box itself was nice. Obviously the artwork is older, but that's part of what makes it the retro, right? There's nothing wrong with the older artwork. You just get used to it. And it's kind of nice for a change, especially stuff that was actually done by humans. But yeah, their outer box packaging was great, and so it's nice, as I said, that they put that they put your sprue map right on the bottom of the box, so you can see what's in there before just when you pick it up and turn it over. So that gets a quarter point. So we're back up to 2 points for packaging. For the sprues, they were complete. There was very little flash. I didn't see any nasty molding bubbles or holes. There were some ejection pin marks on the inside of the car body, but nothing that would interfere with anything. And if you want to be that way about it, they would easily be sanded down. No nubs, recesses, everything was great. Full 2 points there. For the parts themselves, the quality of the plastic was good. The detail was nice. It wasn't super detailed, but those engines, they've got a lot, which might please some people, it might frustrate other people, but to each their own. But in any case, I have to take a quarter point off for that one fan, and that was poor molding. It wasn't broken off. That only half of that fan blade was molded in, but otherwise, and the decals were fine. Nothing special, but one wouldn't really expect a lot of decals with a car like that. But it's nice they provide them, if you want to do a racing version of some sort. So that's 2.75. And as far as the instructions go, I have to take a quarter point off because they didn't put anything about the vehicle. Not even a brief history of the Corvette, which I'm sure everyone agrees is, a classic among the classic cars of the 1960s in particular. But they were clear, they were laid out nicely. Everything looked to be, just go step by step by step and you're fine. So that's nice. But yeah, I gotta take a quarter point off for no information whatsoever. I mean, they give trademark credit and all that kind of stuff for GM and Chevrolet and all that kind of stuff, but it would be nice if they pop something in there. Okay, so all right, so that brings us to 9.5 for standard and WOW bonus points, and for value, I'm going to give it a half. I mean, it was nearly $50, 49 something Canadian. But it's going to be. I built AMT kits before. It's going to be fun, and they're so they're so flexible. You've got the two different motor versions. You've got the different versions of the hood, bonnet, whatever you want to call it. And you can mix and match. You just don't have to do it one way, but because it's your model, you can do what you want with it. It's my model, and I do what I want. Which should be rule number one in the modeling community. So, anyways, so that brings us up to 10 out of 12, which is very respectable. I mean, it's an old mold. The tooling's new, but the mold itself is old. I mean, it's been I think knowing what I know, it was probably in 62 or 63, maybe even 62. So what they did back then was that when the model year was released, or sometimes even before, as a promotion, they would release the model kits, and actually AMT. That's how AMT started. It was I think it was American Metal Toys or something. Anyways, it was started by a lawyer from who did a lot of work for Ford Corporation, and he started the company to make that's what it was, aluminum model. Anyways, whatever. It was aluminum model something, and what they did was they produced models to go to the dealerships as promotional materials. You're buying. You're buying a '59 Ford Galaxy or whatever it was. Well, here's one for little Billy to play with, or Jenny, or whatever. Yeah, and then they, and then basically it branched out where they actually started selling them at the dealerships, and so it worked around great for everybody. And on the underside, I showed this in one of the other videos. I'll dig that up and I'll link it. Same one when I talked about the whole history of AMT was um, on the underside of the car, and these were aluminum. So they had embossed all the different features, and it would be like smooth ride and double this and whatever kind of shocks and anyways, and you could just turn the thing over and read all these little features, and I mean back then especially it was mostly guys buying the cars, and guys they take a look at something like they walk in and something like that is on the desk, it's right up there facing you, and, and buddy car salesman, he said, oh yeah, pick it up, take a look, see what you think. That's our Fords are built as solid as that. Do you feel the weight of that? I mean, hey, come on, I'm having fun today. How about that? We need to have fun. So much else going on in the world. But anyways, so yeah. So and then, but I think they only did it for one model year in aluminum, and then they were pioneers in plastic injection molding, and they switched over to plastic injection molding, and again they marketed the kits through the dealerships, but then they started to branch out with other different kinds of cars and vehicles and all sorts of kinds of stuff. So anyways, yeah, I'll dig that video up and I'll put it on the end screen. Quite an interesting story. So anyway, so yeah, so the guy who's bought it, he's interested in having it be a dynamic, growing enterprise, and that's nice to see in our business. So, all right, well, what do we got? Oh, geez, 48 minutes. Well, thanks everyone for your time. I really appreciate it. If you like what you've seen, hit the like button. If you're stopping in for the first time and like what you see, hit the subscriber button. If you're interested in current international events, check out the analysis and commentary on my other channel. So thanks again. Hope everyone stays safe, stays well, and love who you love, and don't forget to let them know. Bye now.